A while back, I was talking with a CoE lead, and we were just talking about how they can demonstrate more value to their business. Most COEs, most enterprise architects have a challenge that I've experienced firsthand myself, and that is to exhibit value. See, with a lot of other first line roles, if you're a developer, if you're a technical architect, it's much easier to show value. You are writing code, building stuff, features, capabilities. But for folks who are running COEs, for folks who are enterprise architects, they're operating at a more strategic level. So you can't really look at what they do and say, oh yeah, they did blah. And that's a challenge with the COE leads. And when it comes to showing business value, there is an interesting area that I don't think gets enough coverage. And that is durability. How do you build systems? How do you design integrations? How do you do things that will stand the test of time as requirements change, as data models evolve? How do you ensure that what you built today is relevant at least for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years? And that is a significant challenge that doesn't get talked about enough. And what ends up happening is that you see businesses did an implementation, and then 3 years later, they're scrapping things and adding more stuff to it. And this constant change has an enormous cost in terms of disruption, in terms of adoption, in terms of learning, in terms of just spending money on technology areas. So one of the things that is really valuable is to ensure that we are talking about design and durability, that we are talking about how this is superior architecture. It's hard to kind of put a matrix around it. The best I've seen people do is connect it back to maintenance and cost of bringing new changes and adoption. But even with that, there is always a challenge of, are we doing it right? Another approach that is really effective from that perspective is to ensure that the business is educated enough to understand. And a lot of businesses today get that, particularly when you talk about data governance, when you talk about microservices, when you talk about architectures that are designed, allow enablement of business capability very, very quickly. So speed, velocity, all of that gets talked about. But durability is a topic that I think needs a little bit more selling, if you will, and a broader awareness across other facets so that the businesses can understand why they're investing into some of these areas, why we are bringing standards, governances, policies, technology patterns that can really help businesses move and continue to move forward. The good news is tech as an enabler is getting much, much more established today than what it was 10, 15 years ago. The not so good news is there is a lot more of education and learning that needs to happen. And enterprise architects, COE leads have their work cut out. Very curious to hear what you think. Thank you so much.